My name is Henry, and I'm from the CTA headquarters office, and I work in the CTA member benefits department for probably one of the longest one there. So it's like I've been there roughly 24 years or so. I've been with CTA member benefits my entire time. Um, my primary job has always been focused on benefits, insurance. So basically, my numbers on those pens and the highlights brochures as well. So if you have any questions, you can always call me. Or if I'm not in the office like today, one of my staff at the office will pick up. And a lot of times with some of the benefits, almost all the benefits these days are done online. And for viewing benefits, you don't have to log in. But if you actually want to use any of the benefits, like rent a car or buy Disneyland tickets or anything, you do have to create a login. And if you do have any issues, just call that number. Myself or one of my staff will definitely assist you with the login process. It's pretty straightforward. Everybody who's a member of Sequoia is also a member of CTA, which is a state level, and NEA, which is a national level. And everybody has a 10-digit CTA ID number. And anytime on the website or anywhere ask for your ID number, just remember it's a 10-digit ID number. If you don't have an ID card, any mailing you get from CTA, even that educator magazine, if you get those, on the address label, you'll see some numbers either above or below your address. And that's your CTA ID number. And if it's not 10 digits, add a couple of zeros in front of it to make it 10 digits.
And I have them all too, mine's 360.
Right? Yes, and yes. And again, you can call that number. All CTA staff have access to your ID number. And if you ever need it, they can always email you a digital ID card as well anytime you need it. Typically, you don't really need to carry around an ID card, but sometimes there's places that do ask for it, like Enterprise when you're renting a car. Like sometimes they'll ask for your driver's license and your CTA ID card to show that that you qualify for the government rates that all CTA members do get, which I'll discuss as well. This is actually newish benefit, but if you do have any brand new educators at this college, so if you again, every time you have a new member event or anything like that, and they're a first-time educator, this is their first teaching job at a college, they can apply for the $300 grant. And it's pretty straightforward. If they're a new hire and a new member, CTA will basically send them a $300 check to buy supplies for their classroom, their office, whatever it is. It's a $300 grant that is provided for all new hires. Oh, yes. Go ahead.
You said and? What if it's someone that's been here a while, 3 or 4 years,
No.
but was new CTA?
No, it has to be both. Yeah, brand new. Yes, it has to be both. They're basically within their first year of their first job and a member. This is actually one of our most popular benefits, but if you do use Calm, it's basically kind of like a wellness app. It has a lot of like podcasts and like calming music and other things on this app, but it's free to all CTA members. If you want to use it, you go to our website, and all you have to do is either you create a login and provide your 10-digit CTA ID number to activate it, and that will give you premium access to the Calm app, and CTA pays for the premium subscription for you. And also you can also add family members as well. So if you have any children or spouses or anybody like that, once you log into the website as a CTA member, you can add dependents on there, and CTA will pay for the premium subscription for your family members as well. And it is a really popular app. Some people love it, and I say most people love it because we get the most number of phone calls asking about activating their premium subscription. But again, it's part of your benefits as a CTA member. Everybody has death benefits through both CTA and NEA. So make sure that if your first, make sure your family knows that if anything happens to you, they should always contact your union, because there is death benefits that are provided to family members. Again, this is automatic. So once you've joined Sequoia, you're automatically a member of CTA and NEA, and you have these death benefits. I mean, in most situations, the most common is natural death. So if it's a natural death, CTA provides $2,000, NEA provides a $1,000 grant or benefit, and it just helps out with the funeral costs and such. If it's accidental, CTA provides $12,000 and NEA provides $5,000. If it's work-related or association business-related, then CTA pays $52,000, NEA pays $50,000. So I mean, that situation is fairly rare. I'll say probably 90% are natural death, and then 5 to 10% are accidental death that we most likely, majority of the times we pay out. NEA also has this, 150,000 unlawful homicide, and that's more like, if there's a shooting or things like that that occurs in the workplace, then NEA ups it to 150,000. But again, everybody has this benefit. Regardless of if you gave us any instructions or not on beneficiaries, it's automatically spouse, children, parents, brothers, sisters in that order. If you don't like that order, you do have to contact, or you actually do have to go to the CTA website and give us any different instructions on beneficiaries if you want to. So if you wanted to go to your cousin or such, you do have to give us specific instructions to pay it to a different person other than your spouse, children, parents, brothers, sisters. And NEA is the same thing. So there's no additional sign up for this plan. As long as you're a member, you have this. Another automatic benefit that everybody has, I mean, a benefit that hopefully no one ever has to use, but everybody in here, if you're a member, you automatically have educators employment liability insurance for CTA and NEA. So again, that's if you have any student accusations or parent accusations or any type, any legal matter, your first point of contact is you can always contact either the CTA legal department or you can contact your local CTA office for Sequoia. And the staff person will basically, they're the ones that will listen to you and they're the ones that will authorize attorney services. And if it is under the liability insurance, they're the ones that will help you file a claim as well so that you can activate your insurance. We do have members that are in the medical profession as well. So if you're a CTA member and you're in the medical profession, again, it doesn't matter what subject you teach or if you're in the medical profession or not, CTA will automatically provide the extended educator's employment liability. We also call it the medical arts endorsement. So it's basically a supplemental policy for people in the medical profession. And again, this is provided to all members regardless of their occupation. So you have that liability insurance. And then group legal services is basically anytime you need to talk to an attorney, you can always contact CTA Legal or again, your CTA local CTA office. They have a list of attorneys. If it's an employment matter, they will basically refer you to an employment attorney and CTA will pay for the consultation with the attorney. And again, if it goes back into this EEL, then they'll help file the claim and then CTA will pay for the full process. If it's not employment matters, it's just personal matter, anything. It can be any personal matters. You're looking for an attorney for a trust or you're going through a divorce or anything. If CTA has an attorney that handles that matter, again, CTA will pay for the consultation even for personal matters as well. So again, anytime you need any type of legal services, just contact CTA. They'll refer you to an attorney and basically pay for the consultation if needed. And oh yes.
I was just gonna say, contact Tracy.
Oh, Tracy,
the
yeah.
chapter president.
Okay.
She'll call me.
Yeah.
I know better. You could also call me directly,
Yeah.
but it's good to keep the president.
Yeah.
So you think you're doing like a living trust or something?
The only thing is if they have an attorney that's in your area that's on that list, they don't have attorneys for all type of legal matters. But again, they do have a lot of attorneys, but not for all legal matters, for personal matters.
You could call, so if it's for a non-employment related personal issue, call Petal and McCloskey, this down if you want it, if you guys don't have it. 559-437-1770.
Let's do this last part one more time.
559-437-1770. And you will tell them you want to have your free consultation as a CTA member. And they'll need to have your membership ID number. And they'll schedule that.
And who's that?
The law firm is Petal and McCloskey.
Yeah. And they've been working with CTA members I mean, I think now the son is pretty much kind of taking over, but yes, the 20 something years I've been with CTA, they've.
437.
I think Adrian did her,
They're based in Preston.
Adrian set up her. You died.
Her trust, yeah,
Her trust.
yeah. I'm like, man, I just paid for my trust return.
That's expensive.
Yep.
I think you only get so much time.
Yeah.
You end up she came to that to him and had to pay that, but the initial part is free.
And disaster relief fund, I mean, even though the name of it is a CTA disaster relief fund, it's basically natural or other disasters as well. I mean, for the past couple of years, the number of grants we've been providing has only increased. But basically the way it works is if you have any damage to your home, fire, earthquake, water, flooding, basically any damage to your residence, you could get a $1,500 grant. There are some qualifications, so you have to meet the qualifications, and it is fairly easy to qualify unless it's like a tiny little damage to your home. But most damages these days, it costs a lot of money to repair. So a lot of them will qualify, but $1,500 for your home damage. If your damage is more than $50,000, which also it's easy to go get an estimate over $50,000 these days, and they have not increased this in the 20-something years I've been with CTA. So anything over 50,000 is considered catastrophic damage, and CTA provides another 1,500, so 3,000 total if you have any damage to your home. Temporary displacement is evacuations. If you ever evacuated, fire, flooding, anything where police, fire, any city officials said you need to evacuate, it's a mandatory evacuation. CTA pays up to $500 for 5 days. If it's more than 10 days, CTA provides $1,000. And if it's more than 15 days, we actually bump back up to the $1,500 for evacuations. And school site grant is basically something happens here or at if you're not at this college or wherever your office is, your school site. If you have any damage to your own personal property, anything, computers, your own books, anything that's not owned by Sequoia, you can basically apply for the grant. And all we do is we'll send your chapter president a little email saying, hey, so and so, there was a rainstorm, the roof leaked, and my books got wet. My books cost, I'm just saying, $300. And we send it over to her, and she basically says, yep, there was a rainstorm. Yes, there was a leak, and
What about mice?
huh? Mice? I haven't had that.
Is that natural or no?
I never had that one yet, but you're more than welcome to apply, and we'll take a look at it. Again, we'll take a look at. I mean, we've never had that one. I mean, again, I've been working on this for a long time. We've never had any mice claims yet. I mean, again, it's possible. For CTA, I'll tell you, any members that apply for any grants or anything, typically we're looking for a way to pay. We're not looking for ways to deny.
Right.
So.
And life insurance.
And so one of the newest grants that we added is we had a lot of members complain that, hey, we don't have like catastrophic disasters in our area. We usually just have smaller damage. And that actually occurred during the big snowstorms. Like I think it was 2 winters ago, there was a huge snowstorm all across California, and people didn't have significant damage to their home. But what happened was a lot of people had like the weight of the snow and their shed collapsed or their fences fell over. So it wasn't enough damage to qualify under the standard grant. So now the newest grant that we have is for any damage in your backyard, wind, fire, anything. So smaller damage, anything $500 or more, CT has a new $500 grant that you can apply for. So if your shed collapses from the wind or your fence falls over after strong winds or basically anything, you can apply for a $500 grant as well. That's the newest one that we've added, and that one is much easier because again, just any damage over $500, you qualify as long as it's within your property. So that's a new one that we added. We also have a lot of different benefits and services as well. So things like, all the training programs, we go all throughout California. If your chapter asks, we will come out and do member benefit presentation. I mean, if you have employees with a lot of student loan debt, we have a student loan specialist. His name is Sean Maybe. He goes out and does the student loan forgiveness workshops all throughout California as well. It probably doesn't apply here, but university credit, CTA pays for mostly, I think it's for K-12, but if CTA does pay for university credit to Chico State University, if in their bargaining agreement allows for salary step-ups, if they get accrued university credit while they're working. We also have life and disability insurance for our members. It's one of our most popular programs because coverage-wise and price-wise, it's one of the best out there. Yes.
Do you know the criteria for the student loan forgiveness?
The criterias? Well,
Yeah.
there's different. So there's I will tell you, all public employees meets what, they will qualify for a student loan forgiveness program.
Even our community college teachers?
All public
Once,
employees,
I wasn't sure.
yeah, all public employees in general, they do. If you're a public employee, or even like a hospital, like my cousin's a pharmacist at UCLA, and UCLA is public hospital technically, so like they qualify as well. So there's always a program that qualifies, and I'll kind of go over that as well. Well, that's the university credit. But let me get through the student loan. Oh, here it is. So if you're not sure if you qualify or not, it's through neamb.com, which is the member benefits for NEA. When you go to neamb.com, they have you can either go to the start section or just type student loan on the search. It'll take you to this student loan debt navigator by Savvy. And this is a free service. So if you're a CTA member, it's kind of like TurboTax. You put in your name, where you work, what subject you teach, what student loans you have, and you pull in all your student loan information. And what it does is, it basically will tell you which federal student loan forgiveness program that you qualify for. And based on your loan amount, it'll actually tell you which program you should apply for. And free of charge, if you're a CTA member, they will actually do your application for you as well. And typically, most people, when they enroll in the student loan forgiveness, one of the loan forgiveness programs, you have to submit paperwork every year. So what happens is, after 1 year, they'll send you a reminder saying, hey, it's time for you to submit your paperwork again. And it's fairly inexpensive. So basically, the first time they'll do all your paperwork for you for free. After 1 year, if you want them to submit it for you, it's a nominal fee. It's roughly about $20. You pay $20 and they'll do the paperwork for you again. Or, you can just go ahead and do your paperwork yourself if you don't want to pay the $20. It's roughly about $20 plus or minus. But again, it's a program for CTA members, and that's how the Savvy program works. It's like TurboTax. They do the paperwork for you, and then they'll send you reminders. And if you want, you can just pay to have them do it again for you. And you'll just continue to file until your student loans are forgiven.
So I've already had some of my student loans forgiven because I teach in science.
Mm-hmm.
Are there other ones that I might be able to?
That I don't know.
She can go on there.
Well, unless you've already went through one of the programs.
So I did. It's something about like if you teach five years of science in a low income.
Yes. So that is one of the programs, and
Yeah.
you must have gone through it. I'll give you before I leave, I'll give you the contact information. His name is Sean Maybe. He's in the Santa Fe Springs CTA office.
Okay.
And he's the guru when it comes to student loan forgiveness. I'll give you his name or his email address. So just email him, and I guarantee you he'll respond and get back to you.
I know, I'm like, how can I make these go away?
Just so you know, he does offer virtual training.
Yes.
He has them pre-scheduled, so I can get those for you.
Yeah, and then when I go to the web demo, I'll show you exactly where you can sign up for any of the webinars as well that he does.
They'll have them email me, maybe put in the next newsletter, have them email me if they're interested in more information, and if there's enough of them, we can ask them to come.
Sure, yeah, I mean, I would just.
Or soon,
Yeah, but he's great. And besides, different benefit programs, CTA also does a lot of warnings out as well. If you're a public employee, one thing is that this is common for almost all colleges or schools within California. Almost every school district hires third party or outside companies to do some of the administrative work. And one of the big dangers of when a public employer is hiring outside companies to do administrative work for the school district or college is that a lot of times some of these vendors have a vested interest in trying to sell you different products as well. And for public employees, you kind of have a freedom of choice for everything, like things like if you want life insurance, disability insurance, retirement savings accounts, all of those, you have freedom of choice to go with whoever you want. So it's different from when you work for like Apple or a private company where you have like one 401k plan if you want to save for retirement, or the employer usually will have one life insurance or disability insurance. And if you want to like buy more life insurance, then they would have a special group rate for that. It would just be one choice basically that an employer provides. But in public sector, typically you have endless choices. And almost every financial advisor, life insurance or any insurance agent, almost everyone's approved by the district or colleges. So just for an example, like if you are interested in a retirement savings plan for College of Sequoias, your third party, actually, you guys have actually a good third party administrator. Your third party, the company that the district has hired is actually CalSTRS to do the administrative work if you want to set up a retirement savings plan for this college. And then you can see this. These are all the approved vendors in Sequoia College, which is every single, almost every single company out there. When a college or a school district approves a vendor, it's meaningless. It doesn't mean they have done any type of research or due diligence or anything. Anybody who wants to sell to a public employee, all they have to do is pay this big fee to CalSTRS and say, hey, I want to sell in Sequoia. You just have to pay money and you get added on as an approved vendor. I will tell you, majority of this list here, all of these approved vendors in your college, majority of them are ripoffs. So you really have to be very careful when you're signing up for retirement savings accounts. And also like things like life insurance, you have to be very careful as well. You have to make sure you're comparing and reading the fine print. Because again, sometimes, especially with retirement savings account, you could be paying a lot of money for no reason. And also there's a lot of financial advisors are also salespeople as well. And a lot of the products that are sold by financial advisors can have crazy high fees as well. So you have to be very careful when you're selecting retirement savings accounts, because again, in the public school sector, the district does not, or the college does not do any type of comparison. They basically, all they do is you decide who you want, they'll do a payroll deduction. That's all it is.
So we're gonna have them come.
Yes.
CTA want to come
Yes.
here for, to do their thing.
Yeah, Gary's good. And I mean, again, since this is an overview, I just talk about everything.
Oh, yeah, we wanted that.
The CTA in here.
Oh, yes.
And they're very good. They're very good.
So I mean, I mean, just being unbiased, like CTA, volunteer, CTA is a good plan.
Then,
I'll tell you, CalSTRS is a good plan. Vanguard is a good plan. You don't have to delegate. So if I was in Sequoia, the ones that I would be looking at is probably CTA, CalSTRS, and Vanguard. Those are the three that I would look at. And when Gary comes or does it, he can actually go over everything in terms of the pros and cons for each plan. Yes.
Do those three have the additional fees?
All plans have some fees.
they're smaller.
Yeah.
And so CalSTRS and CTA was not available to me because I've been here a very long time. And I actually picked MetLife because it was the first one that came to me my first year. But then 3 years later, I realized the fees were super high, so I switched to Vanguard. And then, you know, during COVID, CTA came. If those were available to me, I would probably pick CTA and then.
No, Vanguard's a really good plan. I mean,
It is
you're,
very low
yeah.
cost.
I mean, you're when you select companies like Vanguard or CTA, you're pretty much getting to close to 0% in fees. Like
Yeah,
that's,
very-
you're getting close. I mean, of course, there's gonna be fees, but you're getting very close to the lowest fees possible.
I don't know, I finally switched over MetLife just this year.
Oh, that's
And
good.
I have no control over switching anything on that though. And I'm hoping to buy the box again because they just went out and I'll be none.
It's a lot of paperwork to switch. That's the problem. And
Is it, so like,
uh-huh.
I have mine in American Century just because I had an account with them as a kid.
Yeah.
Like literally that was it.
So-
Is there a way that I can like, if I decided, hey, I don't wanna do American Century anymore, I can move it?
So, well, your first step is on this website or to
Yeah.
your first step is always you go to find employer, come to Sequoia College, and since CalSTRS is your third party administrator, you would just either go to CalSTRS website, and the website's on this website, the link is there.
Okay.
And your first step is if you don't like a plan, you need to stop new money from going into it. And you would just open up a new account. So let's just say Vanguard is the lowest cost plan out there, and you just like, I just want the cheapest, lowest cost plan out there, which is also good. It's one of the best plans out there, but and then all you do is go to Vanguard.com, open up your CT or Vanguard 403 account, or let's just say, I like to talk to people, I like the CT account better, and you just open it takes like 5-10 minutes to open an account.
Okay.
And all you do is say, hey, you tell Sequoia College by coming to this website that I don't want any new money going into my American Century account, and I want my money starting out going into my new Vanguard or CTA account that I just opened, and that's how simple it is. And then once you have that done, then you can worry about transferring the money depending on what your balance is, because that one's gonna require, the transfer part is a lot more paperwork.
Yeah,
And that one you probably want help.
but, and who would I contact for help? I just like talk to.
Yeah, you can call, the numbers on our booklet as well, but we have financial advisors, Prudent. And if he's gonna come here, then he can probably sit down with you and meet you as well. Mm-hmm.
Starting account with Vanguard, then you have this other pot sitting somewhere else. When you go to move it, are you calling CTA or are you calling Vanguard?
You have to call everybody.
Yeah.
You need to contact.
This forms.
That's why, yeah, you have to let's just say you're moving it from CTA, then you have to let CTA know that, hey, I'm gonna have American Century money coming into the CTA retirement account. You have to let American Century let them know that, hey, I want to transfer my balance over to CTA. Then you have to let Sequoia know that, hey, I'm doing money transfer from.
But somebody will help us.
Yes, Gary.
Okay. That's no problem.
Like, there's a person
Yeah.
I can
And
call.
also, anybody who sells a plan is required to clearly disclose their fees on this website. So anybody who sells to a public
Yeah.
employee, they must be on this website to disclose. So like American Century, I can tell right off the bat, the fees are not that bad so far, because I see a $15 a year fee, which is actually very low. And then when I look at the investment options, I can already tell the investment options, the expense ratio fees they're not close to 0%. They're close to 1%, and some of them are higher and some of them are a little less. So it's not too bad yet, but, and then I'll just, I mean, this is basically how you look at the different fees. And I just click on it, and I mean, the fees aren't terrible. The American Century fees are not terrible. I never really looked at it, but it's not terrible. Let's just say that.
But it's not the best.
Well, I mean, you think about American Century, you're paying close to 1% in fees, right? Plus or minus,
Okay.
right? Whereas if you did like a Vanguard or Fidelity or CTA account, you're probably closer to like 0.04% in fees. So, basically it's like a 1%, whatever, I don't know how much money you have, but whatever your balance is, you're basically paying 1% of that balance.
So I should switch before
Then you'll save about 1%. Which is, I mean, that is a lot of money in the long run.
Yeah.
So again, Gary can do a full analysis for you if you want. But yeah, that's kind of like how you look at the forward to be plans. And again, since you guys have CalSTRS, they don't have sales agents coming to teachers' meeting rooms or anything like that. So they're pretty good. So you probably don't have too much problems with bad vendors, like, walking around the campus or anything like that. But some of the other school districts, colleges, and the K through 12 as well, a lot of them, they actually have salespeople literally just walking around campus. Some actually have offices set up in the teacher's lounge I've seen, and I was like, wow. And the district just allows it because they don't know. If you are looking at life or disability insurance, I'll tell you CTA is probably one of the lowest cost plans out there. Anytime anybody who's a new hire, they're guaranteed acceptance for 270 days. So that's usually the best time to apply for life or disability insurance since it's guaranteed. The only reason why we have a guaranteed acceptance period is because a lot of times what happens is once they find out like they have cancer or they have a medical condition, then they're looking for life or disability insurance. And once you have a medical condition, it can be very difficult to get life or disability insurance. So it's usually best to sign up for it when you're healthy. But again, it's really hard to tell. And we do have other opportunities if someone does have a health condition when if they want to apply. Again, if they didn't sign up for it and they find out they have a health condition, the best thing they can do is contact the chapter president, and the chapter president can reach out to the CTA reps. And what we do is it's called the chapter campaign. So if you ever have a lot of members that have health conditions and they really need life and disability insurance, the chapter president is the only person that can authorize the chapter campaign. And what that is if the chapter president is able to collect enough applications, then even the people with cancer or other health conditions, they can all get accepted. And we call it a campaign because they have to meet a minimum number of applications, then everyone gets accepted.
Do you know what that is?
It depends on every chapter is different. So what happens is if you are interested and you reach out to the rep, they're gonna do a full analysis of all your members and see how many members have insurance and how many don't. And then they'll come up with the number. So let's just,
Okay.
yeah, so let's just say it's 30. Then if you collect 30, then everyone gets it. It's
You need
usually
30
like
signatures or 30 people signing up?
30 applications. So you have to physically
Applications,
have to collect applications.
Okay,
And then it'll be a successful campaign.
okay,
So it's usually recommended chapters have it like once every 4 or 5 years. Because typically there's always gonna be somebody who actually has a health condition and they really need it. So, you know, and standard, our insurance reps, they will do all the marketing, mailing and everything to all your members and such to, you know, make it successful.
do you think the prices of that life insurance
Mhm.
is similar to the prices of just a random one where you can't get it? If you have.
No, it's the same price. Over for CTA, it's the same price.
Okay.
It's a group rate, no matter what.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a group rate for each, but I didn't know if it was a separate group rate, okay.
No, it's the same group rate.
Good to know.
And CTA does life insurance. And CTA does life insurance from $25,000 to $400,000. You can also get life insurance for your spouse as well. We also have added benefits especially for like our disability insurance. If you're out on disability where you cannot work and you start missing work days, then that's basically disability. And disability insurance is also called income protection insurance because it's basically a salary on your income. And if you have a disability and you have student loans, CTA automatically adds $400 a month to your disability payments. If you have cancer, they add another $400 in cancer benefits to your policy or your benefits. And also, if you become disabled during summer break, when you're, you know, it's just summer break and you happen to break your leg and you can't work, because it's summer break and technically you don't have any loss in income, CTA will add a $500 a week benefit if you are disabled during the summer, which, because some people say, well, it's unfair, I get nothing just because I'm disabled during summer break.
So what if you were teaching a summer school class? Is it still the same?
So if you're teaching so for CTA, the great thing about our insurance plan is for any job assignment you had that you were already scheduled to have, it will automatically cover that contract as well.
Okay.
If you're.
But that contract only, not your normal contract, right?
Well, your normal and that contract. Well,
Okay.
basically, any loss in income, if you file a claim, it will cover all losses of, I mean, the only thing you can't do is, I was gonna coach Somerset, and if you don't have a contract yet to do that, then it's not covered. But if you have any summer work or jobs already signed that you're like, with the college to do, or even like at a different school, that's covered. It just needs to be in writing already. Cause yeah, we do get sometimes people saying, well, I always teach every summer. It's just, but then you don't have it in place yet, then it won't be covered. You'll just get the normal $5 a week summer benefit. But we have reps all throughout California. You can reach out to any of the reps anytime you like, and they're I mean, if you have a meeting and you want them to come, they'll come out. All the reps are always there for you. And I kind of went over to 403B already when I did the website. But CTA offers retirement savings plan. And one thing is most college faculty is under CalSTRS, right? Is anybody? I mean, we do have some people under PERS from previous jobs that they continued on with PERS, but most college faculty, like I'll say probably 99% are under CalSTRS. Just remember that when you're under CalSTRS, if you look at your paycheck stub, you'll notice you're not paying to Social Security. So you're just paying to CalSTRS, and your disability benefits and your pension is also through CalSTRS. And one thing that's different from other employees, like the private employees, that they pay Social Security and SDI. If you look at your paycheck stub, most college faculty do not pay the SDI. So you do not have state disability insurance.
Right.
And so that's why if you want disability insurance, it's voluntary. You have to sign up for a plan, either through CTA or American Fidelity or any of the other companies out there. And for CalSTRS members, unless you work 5 years and you're vested, you're not vested yet until you work 5 years. So that means you have no benefits through CalSTRS until you pass that 5 years. So it's even more important that you have some type of disability benefits because you're not vested in CalSTRS. And another thing is with the CalSTRS pension, of course, if you work 5 years and you're vested, you're guaranteed a pension. once you pass the 5 years goal mark. And also, depending on how many years you work, what age you retire at, and your highest salary you end up getting before you retire, that's gonna all go into a formula where it's gonna basically compute out your pension. So for CalSTRS members, again, if you go to their website, usually on their website, it says on average, most CalSTRS members get 50% as their pension, like 50% of your highest pay. When they're talking about 50%, they're basically talking about someone, if you work roughly about 23 years and you retire in your early 60s, then yes, whatever your highest paycheck is, your pension is probably going to be about half of your highest paycheck for life is going to be your pension. If you work more than 23 years, then that percentage keeps on going up. So again, that's just a rough estimate. If you're curious, just go to calstrs.com. There's a little estimate your retirement, and you put in your birthday, how many years you think you're going to work, and what age you think you're going to retire at. And they'll tell you, and the only thing you won't know is your highest salary, so just make up a number, but you can still calculate what percentage you're going to get in retirement. And then once you're within 5 years of retirement, you can call CalSTRS and schedule an appointment, and a CalSTRS counselor will meet you one-on-one, and they'll print out all your service credit, and they'll basically tell you exactly like what you're going to get, like if I retire today or next year, so that's a service that CalSTRS offers. So if you are within 5 years, make sure you make your appointment, and they'll go over all of that, because you really need to plan for your retirement in advance before you retire. And again, it's usually the pension is not enough, so you should save up for a retirement savings plan. And for public employees, that is through a 403B or 457 plan. And I kind of already went through this. Again, just go to this website, 403bcompare.com. And when you click on find employer, if you start typing Sequoia, you'll see colleges of Sequoias. And it has the phone number to your administrators, the 403 comply. Like if you want to stop any contributions or you want to increase your contributions, it has a link right there where you can go to your school district's administrator website to change. Like just say, like I want to start putting in more money into my Vanguard account. You just click on this and you put in, I want to start putting $500 or $1,000 a month, and you can change this anytime you want. Your retirement savings account. So this website will take you to that link to get to your district's website to make contribution changes or stop contributions, anything you want. Go to this website; it'll take you to the link under initiate or change contributions right there.
If you change it.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it where it was coming from.
Yeah, so everything you do here is going to be sent to your district's payroll. And this is how you change all your retirement investment account contributions is through this website. And let me just see. I think there's colleges of Sequoias. And then and then you can enroll and then you basically have to create a login and everything, and it'll and then also it actually has a link to if you want to start your accounts as well for all the different vendors on there. But you see how they're enroll in the login button. So you can change it, but CalSTRS also, you can always call them and say, hey, I want to change my contribution to $1,000 to Vanguard, and they have over the phone service as well. So you can either do it online or just call them. But that's kind of how you change 403B. Again, avoid the sales pitch. You got to be careful of the salespeople because there's a lot of salespeople out there, and a lot of them know that public employees have freedom of choice. So you're always if you're a public employee, you always have people trying to sell you different things. So just be careful of that. And also, especially if you're a public employee, a lot of the different vendors out there, they buy your contact information and they send out a lot of marketing materials trying to sell you different things. So most public employees, they get like emails about make your CalSTRS appointment or things like that. And a lot of those are basically spam mailings. And what happens is if you click on those things and set up an appointment, a lot of times you're actually having one-on-one meetings with a financial advisor or salesperson. So just be careful of the emails that you receive as well, because some of those emails will say like your name, what college you're working at, and it'll look like it's from the district or something sometimes. So just be careful of that. CTA offers auto and home insurance through California Casualty. Right now with homeowners insurance, it's a big mess in California. So if you have homeowners insurance, just be you're lucky that you have it because it's very difficult to get homeowners insurance right now. And I'm pretty sure we've been having a lot of meetings, but I think insurance rates are going to go up more because in order for a lot of those big companies that left California, for one of the things is that if they want to come back to California, the insurance commissioner, they're going to need to allow insurance companies to start charging on a forecast basis. Because in California is one of the few states where insurance company can only charge based on last 10 years of experience. And California is actually one of the cheapest for insurance compared to a lot of the states out there. But if they do change to a forecast matter, then that means insurance companies will be allowed in California to charge based on what they think is going to be. Right now, it just seems like it's getting worse and worse, which means premiums can possibly increase further. So that's just a quick warning on that. And even if you are a CTA member, we cannot force California casualty to give you insurance. You do have to apply and go through the regular underwriting process. So if you are having a hard time getting insurance for your home, CTA cannot force them to give you insurance. Yes.
They are very good.
Yes, coverage wise.
I have my CTA vehicle is already covered under California casualty. But we have our home insurance through them and we just had a claim. They settled it very well. Had a continuous flooring issue, water damage problem. The payout was excellent.
Yeah, coverage wise and service wise, they're one of the best out there. And also,
Because I'm thinking of switching on that number four.
and one thing with California casualty, and not just California casualty, but either anything that's CTA endorsed, life and disability insurance as well. If you do have any issues with your claim or you have any disagreements, Yvonne Chen is the consultant for it, but you can always contact myself as well or our department by calling the number. And what happens is if you have any issues with any insurance claims, we get involved and we try to resolve it for you. In the worst case scenario where we cannot get the member happy because there's an issue going on and there's no agreement, we also have a panel of CTA members and is appointed by the board. The panel listens to the member directly with any issues. And of course, the insurance company is going to personally present why they're doing, if they're denying a claim or anything, they will actually present their case as well. The panel of CTA members make final decision on all matters. And both California Casualty and Standard, our insurance companies, they all have that in place if there's any issues. So it's one of the biggest safety nets that all CTA members have if you have insurance through CTA is that a panel of CTA members make final decision. And these are your reps in California. Yeah, he's everywhere. We also have financial services, so mortgages, auto loans, if you need personal loans, you can always contact the CTA credit union. And even if they don't have a branch near you, if you do need any of the loan services, you can always contact them and they'll tell you what the rates are for CTA members. They do a rate reduction for CTA members and they are very competitive. And again, if you like it, you can get a loan through CTA. They also, this is more for chapter leaders, but they also do chapter business credit cards if needed for the chapters. And both California Casualty and our credit unions and most of our vendors, they do have a lot of giveaways and prizes and awards that they have for members. So if you are interested, our website always has different new awards that are coming out. The credit cards, our CTA credit cards through Bank of America, it's a credit card branded with CTA. In terms of extra perks, there aren't that many really extra perks, except the fact that if you do have any issues that we'll get involved. I already mentioned personal loans that's offered by CTA. Discounts, this is when I usually just go to the web demo, but anything you can think of, there's probably a discount through CTA or NEA. Whether it be Disneyland or Universal Studio tickets, almost every single major movie theater, they do discounts for CTA members. A lot of the local restaurants and stores, they have discounts for CTA members as well. there's just too many. So what I do is I go to the discount section of the CTA website, which I'll show you in a bit. And typically I'll do a search and I'll look for it in my area and I'll look for restaurants or places that does really good discounts for CTA members. And once I know a couple of them, I'll just save down to my phone and then I'll use those regularly. Like for example, like my daughter's always losing goggles or, she's always losing something. So I'm always going to Big Five to pick up things all the time. And Big Five, for every transaction, they do $5 off for CTA members. So I'll buy my goggles and scan, get my $5 off. I'll buy her swimsuit and scan, get a $5 off. So that one I use a lot. I use the movie theater a lot because I live near San Francisco area. And movie theaters are usually in the $20 range. So I know I can buy through CTA members like AMC or almost every major movie theater. I can usually buy them for about $5. It's about the same price as Costco, but I can buy right before I go to the theaters. So I use that one a lot too. I also have Costco and AAA as well. So, things like Disneyland or Universal Studio tickets, I always compare against all three and I just buy whoever's going to give me the lowest price. Fortunately, actually, CTA actually has been the better price for me. So all my past like 2 Disneyland trips, my Universal Studios, I bought all of them through CTA because AAA discounts are pretty good too, but the CTA prices were like a couple dollars cheaper. So I ended up buying it through CTA and I've never had any issues. But when you're on our website, you have all your insurance. So if you want to look at like, for example, let's just say, you're interested in what the prices are for insurance. You don't even need to log in. You can just go to the insurance and life or disability. There's a little premium amounts flyer.
So, I'm a big cheapo and like to shop around. But when I had to rent a car out of state and I checked them all out and the CTA car rental is the lowest, not even close to everyone else's Costco. I think, I also did it for going to Canteen or somewhere like that. I was trying to compare apples to apples, like as good as I can. And that was harder. If you have a place, it was equal to some of them.
Yeah.
Equal. So, but if you don't have a place, you can go on there and find the bigger, deeper discounts because there's always deeper discounts there. And then you can get a cheaper,
Yeah, I'll show you as well. Just a couple examples like the one that. So like, for example, like if you're interested in disability, this is our only price. So you just look by your salary, whatever salary you are, and that'll be your monthly premium. So if you want to compare against, I don't know how much you pay for McFarlane, just
I took
remember.
grandfather.
Huh? Oh, well, that, you just do a quick comparison.
I think it's similar, but the thing over the summer.
I'm pretty sure coverage wise, it's CTA has to be superior because usually the price and coverage, the CTA plans are way, way better.
Don't
but-
worry.
And if you had a big rainstorm and your fence fell over, you could go to life events and there's disaster relief fund and you can put in your grant. It takes like a couple minutes to put in an application. If you have a new hire or new member, classroom incentive grant, you should click under life events as well. All the financial services are under, of course, financial services. Discounts in travel. So rental car is actually my favorite go-to discount because it just saved me so much money in my lifetime right now. I mean, I use it all the time. So the way it works is almost every single rental car company has a discount for CTA members, whether it be those Payless or Rental Junk or Enterprise Hertz, all the different companies, they all have a discount. But Enterprise, anytime prices are like crazy high, Enterprise always gives the CTA members a flat rate. And if rental car prices are high, you want to go to the rental car discounts and that'll take you to the flat rate code through Enterprise. So if I click on the rental car discount and they have one for actively working and one for retired, but go to the actively working section and then I'm already logged in right now. So it tells me go to enterprise.com, put in my account number and PIN number. And the last thing you're going to use your CTA ID number and it'll tell you what the prices are. So let's just say for Thanksgiving week, I want to go to Hawaii. So I just put in Waikiki in here, Hawaii. And I can just browse. And I use this all the time. And it's going to basically tell me what the regular prices are. And usually Enterprise, Hertz, all the big name companies, the prices are usually very similar to one another for the exact date you're going. So if I wanted to go to Hawaii for Thanksgiving week, it's telling me it's $65 a day, and for the cheapest car it's $303. And then it basically tells, like I can look at the different rental car prices, and if I want like a minivan, then it's going to be $811 for the week of Thanksgiving if I want to go. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I go to my rental car and my account number, I'll just copy it. And I put it in there, and I put in the exact same dates, by the way. Oh, it's on the website. When you go to the CTA website. So discounts in travel, rental car. Yeah. It's only your ID number is a personal one. And then ask for PIN, CTA. And then you'll see how it says CTA members now. So now what was the original price it was? So the cheapest car was $303. Now it's $201. And then if I wanted that minivan for my family trip, it's now $284 instead of the $811. And this is what I meant about you have no idea how many times I literally saved like over $1,000.
On the same thing.
Because like I said, like I was in Colorado and I had a minivan reserved for all my friends in our ski gear, and it was just snowing so much, and basically it was 4x4 only, and I had to I needed to switch over to a Suburban 4x4, and they wanted like 1,300. Hertz wanted 1,500. And I did my enterprise flat rate, and instead of 1,003, it went to $300. So I saved $1,000 on the last minute change. And also for enterprise, if you use the code, they usually have two lines, one for regular, and then there's this government employee line where nobody's on there. It's like Express. You go to that.
Would this work
Sounds
for out of country travel too, or is this just a?
It works for out of country, but for out of country, it's usually a smaller. It's a smaller discount, because usually only in US the prices are high. When you're renting cars in like Europe, it's usually cheaper.
I was thinking.
You'll get
Costa Rica is really bad.
But I typically always rent from major companies when I rent cars, because
Wait, can you flip it to the CTA?
which one?
The CTA price for that, I forgot the name, and I'll look at that in this one.
The CTA price. Yeah. Up, down, or?
For the minivan, yeah, down.
Oh, down. Okay. This is just for the 5-day week. I just did a 5-day week. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is if I was renting from Monday through Friday.
It's cheaper than a minimum.
But yeah, I mean, this is where I save the biggest bucks.
Yes.
And
I agree.
I mean, it's funny because like some members are like, why should I join? I'm like, if you travel just a couple times, you can save a lot. And the other one I use a lot is the hotels as well. And so almost every major hotel does discounts for CTA members. It runs off the same search engine, like I don't know if you use like Priceline or Hotels.com or Expedia, all those different websites. All those websites, they charge with the discounted price of hotel charges, plus they add on their fees. So CTA only charges with the hotel charges, and there's no kickback or any additional fees that CTA charges. So let's just say, I mean, usually like Monterey. Did I spell it right? Monterey? Yeah. Like Monterey, like let's just say I want to go for the Thanksgiving week. And it's just like any of those hotel websites. It just gives you a gigantic list of all the hotels that are available. And this is for a whole week, by the way, I put in. So you can look at the daily price or the total price. So this is Monday through Friday. If you wanted to stay at the Monterey Plaza or whatever hotel from Monday through Friday on Thanksgiving week, it's basically telling you that the CTA price is $1,400 for the whole week or 5 days. The daily rate is $306, but if other hotel websites has the exact same hotel on the exact same dates, they'll tell you exactly what their prices are. So you can see the CTA price is roughly like $30-something or $40 cheaper. So that you can basically just do a straight comparison throughout the website. So if you went to like Priceline or those websites, it'll be like that exact price. If you're going to places where hotels are expensive, like Monterey, California, the discounts are getting bigger. If you're like in Tennessee and you're searching for hotels, if it's already cheap, then you might save just a couple dollars. I've even had times where the price difference was like $1 difference, but you still will save something if you're a CTA member. But again, the savings are usually when you go to places where the hotel prices are going to be high, is when you're going to see the biggest savings. But it works. It does work. The only negative side I'll tell you is if you're like, like what a Marriott Bonvoy member or any of those other things, because you're booking it through a third party, you might not get the exact same benefits. Like sometimes if you're a Bonvoy, like you might get free breakfast or something. If you book through a third party website, even though you are a Bonvoy or Hilton Honors member, the same benefits doesn't apply. So just be aware of that. And like parks, I think I have Disneyland down here somewhere. No, that's it. Yeah, I mean, I can do. But, let's just say, you want to go to Universal Studios or Disneyland. So I can click on Disneyland. And Disneyland only does discounts from 2 days and up. So they won't do discounts on 1-day tickets. So let's just say I want to go for 2 days. And let's just say I want to go Thanksgiving. And so it's basically, what is this? Like $12.09 off a 2-day ticket. But it's better than nothing. And then you can add your lightning pass or different options onto it as well. So I mean, if I do the lightning lane pass and let's just say 2 adults and 1 child, I will save $42.59, it looks like. So I'll pay $1,120 if I took my daughter right now for Thanksgiving week or 2 days at Disneyland. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how the discounts work. And NEA has their website, neamb.com. A lot of the discounts overlap. So you can book hotels through CTA, you can book hotels through NEA as well. You can buy Disneyland tickets through CTA or you can buy it through NEA. From my personal experience, I will tell you most of the time CTA prices have been better. But NEA for their hotels and such, they use what's called travel dollars. So if you're a CTA member, they give you 500 travel dollars. It's just imaginary plane. So when you're booking your hotel, you can use part of that $500. You can't use all of it, but you can use part of that $500 to pay down the hotel costs. But I mean, again, 90% of the time, I found that the CTA prices with a straight discount has been lower. But again, there are times when the NEA price does come out cheaper. So you can play around with it and see what you like. If you ever get a phone call or email saying, do you want to buy more travel dollars? Don't do it. Because that's the outside company that sells those travel dollars. And I've had some bad complaints from members that told me that it's very hard to cancel the ongoing fees once you sign up for it. So just a warning, just use the free travel dollars. Don't buy any more because I've heard a lot of complaints about it. But if you go to their discounts and travel, they have also a lot of different discount programs as well. Of course, the student loan program is through NEA. So if you're interested in what student loan forgiveness programs you qualify for, you can always click on that. A lot of members actually join CTA and retire. So after you retire, you can become a member as well. And a lot of members do join because there's additional benefits for retirement, like the Medicare supplement insurance plan, which is really popular for CTA retirees. So different plans you can sign up for as well. But again, this was like just a quick overview of everything. When you go to our website, under tools and resources, we have the member training program. And we actually have a video. And we also have the slides for the different trainings. So member benefits is the first one right there, like kind of an overview of all the slides. There's one for retirees, if you're interested in benefits for retirees, retirement investment, and there's also one for the student loan forgiveness that Sean does. The training's right there as well, if you just want to look at the slides. And the trainer for student loan forgiveness is Sean Maybe. I'll give you his email address right now, and if anybody else wants it, it's SMABEY@CTA.org. So S for Sean, so SMABEY at CTA.org. That's Sean's email address if you have any questions about student loan forgiveness. He is like the guru. He used to work for NEA, but CTA kind of stole him, and now he's a CTA staff member now. So he's definitely your go-to person if you have any questions about student loan forgiveness. And then if you have any questions about retirement investment, Gary is a person. I deal more with the products and fees. So if you have any questions about products or fees, you can also email me as well. And you can always just email member benefits and they'll just forward it on to me if you want. And that's kind of it. Is there any questions or any other benefits that you want me to show you? It's endless, really. Like if you read magazines, I don't know, it's some people really like it, but if you read magazines, if you go to nemb.com/CTA, you can basically get 2 free magazines every year. This is a free gift to CTA members. So if you go to nemb.com/CTA, and there's no credit card or anything, you just pick any 2 magazines you want, Harper's, or I mean, there's like a a small list of magazines, and you just pick any 2 you want. Yeah.
Wait, it's NEA, can you talk about?
Oh, NEAMB.com/CTA. So NEAMB. It's a secret website, but if you do read magazines, then you'll basically get that whatever you select, you'll get it for the whole year. And after it ends, it'll say, do you want to renew for 25? Whatever. Don't do that, throw that away. You just go back to the website and you can select any 2 you want or the same if you want, and it'll send you a year subscription if you like. You can do that every year if you read magazines. That's another benefit I just wanted to mention because I do it sometimes. And if it's your first time renting cars or buying Disneyland tickets, when you're actually in front of the computer, just call the number. I mean, I'm usually really quick with the phone, so you'll probably most likely get me or one of my staff will pick up. And again, if you're in front of the computer, we can talk you through the login process. If there's any errors or issues, we can quickly look to see what the issue is and kind of assist you. And because things like the rental car discounts, if it's your first time, it does get tricky sometimes.
Yeah,
The account number, like the PIN, the ID number at the end, and some people get a little confused. So call us if it's your first time, and we'll just talk you right through it.
Yeah, I felt it was more at the beginning and not the end, and then.
Yeah. But yeah, we've dealt with almost every type of issue possible. Like people trying to subscribe to Calm, and they're just basically they're just lost.
Yeah.
Just call us before you get frustrated. I mean, like rental cars, myself or staff, we can even book it for you. As long as we can look up your ID number and we can do it for you if you want as well. It's pretty simple. And also like, people don't understand, like if prices are low, you don't want to use the flat rate because you're going to increase your price. So if you use a flat rate when prices are low, you can increase your price. So you need to know when to use the flat rate or when to use the regular discount. So, I mean, there's a whole madness to this, like, yeah. That's why I always tell people, like when people call and say, hey, I want to use the CTA rental car discount. My first question is, what's the regular price? And they're like, huh? I'm like, you need to know what the regular price is first before you can decide if you want to use the flat rate or use a regular percentage discount. I mean, if the rental car is like $20 a day, that's already cheap. So you're gonna, I mean, you'll still get a couple of dollars off, but you're not gonna save a ton of money. You usually only save a lot when the prices are high. So, and again, just have all your members or peers call us when, if you're doing something, because it does take some practice, and there's like apps you can download as well for your, like when I go to Big Five, I just open up my app, they scan my barcode, I get my follows off. The instructions are inside the highlights brochure. But again, if you're just confused, just call us when you're doing it and we'll guide you through it. Because the last thing we want is members getting frustrated and then angry, which happens. Because I'll have members call me and say, I've been trying to activate my Calm subscription for 2 weeks or something. And it turns out like their ID, they've been entering the wrong ID number, or it's something usually minor, or their name is David, but they go by Dave. So when they're on the website, they've been typing Dave and nothing's working because the system can't find them, and it basically won't let them in because they don't have a Dave Smith, they have a David Smith, and it just, those are the like common things where people just get stuck. Or if they move, then they never notify the union. So they're typing in their address and the website won't let them go through because the address isn't matching. So there's, a lot of little things that can happen.